Main event of the show, Diesel against King Mabel. Diesel has been champion, honestly, since the night after Survivor Series, so late 94. They did the Brett versus Bob Backlund title change. That really surprised everybody. We didn't even really get to set in with Bob Backlund being our champion, because on a Madison Square Garden house show that they would actually film and they would put up on like WWF Superstars to make sure that everybody saw, Diesel almost comes from the back of the line. That's at that point, he had been a tag champ, he'd been an Intercontinental champ, but I don't think anybody really saw him as being the guy. But Shane McMahon, as well as Vince McMahon, really took a liking to him, and he went right there. It just sucks. I love Kevin Nash so much. I love the Diesel run. I love the run that he had before he ends up leaving WCW, when he's going up against Brett and he's going up against Undertaker, and he's kind of like a heel main event guy. That's like the best run of WWF Kevin Nash. Of course, I loved almost everything that he did in WCW. It gets to a little bit of a point when he's not around as much as he is there. There's a time he takes off when he's booking. There's a time he takes off when he, I guess you can say, has the heart attack. And then in late WCW, it's just, I don't know. But I thought he was the man. I thought he was the coolest guy in wrestling when he got that title run in WCW. Nobody else I thought that would beat Goldberg. But it sucks that he had the title in 95. I mean, I don't think it would have been any better if Brett had it. I don't think it would have been any better if Shawn had it. It just was the dog days of WWF. It was the year that they had to get through, and they and definitely WCW taking off and having a little bit of something to battle against, and a reason to make the show better for people to watch Raw and not have like enhancement matches and things like that. I think the wrestling business just changed. Definitely Stone Cold Steve Austin getting hot didn't hurt, but this match, bad. Mabel had won the King of the Ring, which gave him a number one contender shot to be the number one contender to have a title shot at SummerSlam. King Mabel was freshly, had turned heel. Of course, been on a mission. They had a tag match against Smoking Guns. And ends up, after they lost the match, they beat up the Smoking Guns. They brought him out to the ring, and they apologized to him, said it would never happen again, and then beat him up again. At the same time they beat him up, they beat up their manager, Oscar, the rapping manager. They beat him up, and it was just a new direction. Mo kind of took a step backwards. I don't even really know if Mo wrestled anymore, or if he just became the manager to Mabel, but Mabel started wearing the crown, and he really started believing the gimmick. But Mabel, I maybe they should have left him in that tag spot. I don't really ever hear about him hurting people in the tag team matches, but Mabel's a main eventer. It's probably the one guy that they turned on faster than anybody else of all time. He has this match. During the match, Diesel, he had asked him, he's dealing with a little bit of a back injury, if he could just, take it easy on him and not do the sit-down spot on his back. Right in the match, Mabel comes off the ropes, does like the earthquake Yokozuna squash right on his back, and Diesel just like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Just calls him out loud, and just he just loses it. Match doesn't go on that much longer there, but Diesel gets the win. Diesel looks strong. In most of the days, they build up a heel to go up against the champion. Like they would build up somebody to go against Hogan, and then they would just sort of fall. Not all the way down the card, but they would just slip a little bit, and they would just continue on their run in WWF. Right after this, they end up doing a match on Monday Night Raw. It's a 6-man tag involving The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Diesel. You got Mabel, it has to be like the British Bulldog, whoever it is. Everybody's seen it. Mabel does the same thing. He sits down on Undertaker's face. He breaks his orbital bone, he breaks his nose, and Undertaker has to wear that Phantom of the Opera mask that everybody knows. He brought it out during his Hidden Treasures, when they were going around trying to find his old stuff. It's a weird era for the Undertaker wearing that thing, but after that, the writing is on the wall. They got to get rid of this guy. I think Undertaker is kind of like a guy. He's hurt Diesel. He's hurt me. This isn't gonna work. He does 3 more jobs on the way out the door. He loses a Superstars match to Diesel that he loses honestly in 8 seconds. And this is only months after SummerSlam. This is supposed to be hyped up as a big match. 8 seconds long. He loses a casket match to the Undertaker. I think that was on like an In Your House or something like that. And then he shows up at the Rumble and is dumped out, and he is gone for years. He comes back during the Ministry of Darkness, which ends up becoming the Corporate Ministry. And of course, you know that Viscera is with the Undertaker. This is because the Undertaker said, like, hey, if you want to bring this guy back, it's cool, but I'll never work against him. The one way they figured out that they could hide him from the Undertaker, stick him in his group. And they were together for the rest of the days until he was gone again. He ends up coming back as Big Daddy V, having that run with Trish Stratus. But this show, man, there ain't no other way to say it. This show's bad. This show's really bad, and it sucks. But I don't know how to get this out of here in a good moment. But this is in the land of In Your Houses. The next big show that they would do is Survivor Series. I don't really think they get it back on track. I don't even know what point of 96 to tell you that it starts getting good again. Survivor Series 95's main event is Brett versus Diesel. So at least that match is good. It's got that really good Survivor Series match where they mix guys up. It's not just good guys versus bad guys. It's good guys and bad guys having to work together. That's one of Miguel's favorite Survivor Series matches of all time. I know that. But I honestly think when they start putting Diesel on that run as a heel in these championship matches, I think is when it really picks up. Royal Rumble 96. The Undertaker against Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels wins the Royal Rumble by last eliminating Diesel. I wouldn't even say that this is like when it starts getting great, but at least it starts getting good again. And then of course we would get to WrestleMania 12, which I don't think is a great WrestleMania. I think it is a big one, but it's got like your Shawn versus Bret, Iron Man match, Undertaker versus Diesel. I think that's Diesel's last match before he leaves. Ultimate Warrior against Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Savio Vega, Piper versus Goldust, Hollywood Backlot Brawl. So I don't really know when to tell you they fix it for good, but 95, man, bad year. It's gonna be a long time before I watch another show from this time.